right, guys, today we are going to test out some deck stains, and I tried to keep this as fair as possible. So what we're starting out with some brand new cedar 1x6 deck boards here, and this is all out of the same board, so we can try to keep this as fair as possible. And I went around to a handful of stores to get different products so we could see how they perform today. This is a cool one, Thompson's Water Seal, kind of the old tried and true. That is this first board right here. Second up is the Preserva wood, which is B, and it's an oil-based finish as well. C here is the Olympic Elite, and this is this one right here, so we can kind of see how that performs. Again, a nice clear finish. Our only water-based is the Behr product, which is D, and this went on really nice. And then our last one, which is E right here, is the PPG. This is a great product as well, another oil base. And so some of these require 1 coat, 2 coats. I just followed the directions on the back of the can to make sure that we were solid with that. And this is all on new wood. Now, if you've got old wood, there is a product out there that if you're trying to rescue your deck, this is an interesting coating. I want to talk about this because it's fair for when you're trying to give that Hail Mary for that old worn out deck and get another season or two out of it. It is a rubberized coating right here. It is meant to fill in those cracks, the dents, and everything else. But there is one thing with this. One, it takes a ton of product. This only covers 75 square feet, so you're going to need a lot of it. And 2, it's your Hail Mary. This is the last coat you're probably ever going to put on that deck, because once it's on there and it starts to peel, like many of them do after a few years, because it's got worn out wood to begin with, you're pretty much done with it because it's almost impossible to sand it out to try to do something again with, and recoating just never looks good. So the first thing I want to do on these other products here is just give a nice scuff coat right off the top here and just hit it a few times so we can see how it kind of simulates some wear. I just want to go over the top of that like this and just really give us some light. This is 400 sandpaper, so it's nothing too crazy. I don't want to just sand the stuff off. That's not a fair test. Now, one thing interesting, I can feel a different feel on this one over here, which is our Thompson's Water Seal. That has almost a waxy surface on it, so it's not very good sanding. I think we're good right there. Now the next step, I want to take this outside and hit it with the pressure washer with one of the nice wide tips. I'm not trying to tear this out, but I want to see how it does and try to simulate some rain. All right, for the last part of the test here, I just wanted to take a pressure washer with one of the rotary tips. I don't want to dig into this cedar, but I want to really hit this hard and see how it holds up to rain and what I would consider a Pacific Northwest weather. So I'm going to try to be pretty equal with this so I get the same amount on every one of these. Let's see what happens. Now it's time for the review. Let's see what happened. Not impressed with the Thompson's Water Seal, to be honest. It feels just like regular wood. Most of that finish came off, so it clearly didn't hold up. And, you know, these two here did okay, but the finish on this one is a little bit milky, and it just didn't really hold up. And I think, ironically, these two are the top two over here that are in the top shelf best. This did really good with the Behr. I think for a water-based, it held up really good. But you know something? That oil-based just held up the best. So I'm going to give this winner to the PPG Pro Lux. Any of these are going to work well for you, but you know something? If you want it to last, I think that's the way to go.